Happy New Year!
Happy New Year, ladies!
I'm Jen Lormond, exercise physiologist, mom of 3.
Co-owner of
Tighten Your Tickler.
Tighten Your Tinkler. We're here with you today. I'm Christina Walsh. I'm a physical therapist and mom of 2. And Happy New Year. We are here to talk to you about something that we've realized is an issue with a lot of the women that we interact with, is that they hear the word pelvis and they're a little freaked out. And if you feel that way, if it kind of makes your skin crawl or it makes your stomach feel a little weird or it makes you want to step back a little bit, you're not the only one. And it's not your fault at all. Here's what we've been brought up with the word pelvis to mean. Either it means something dirty and sexual and we're supposed to stay away from that because we're ladies, or it means you're going to get a pelvic exam. That's a lot of times that's the only context where many women hear that word. That means lie on your back and have someone, potentially a relative stranger, insert something into your vagina. So no wonder that word kind of freaks you out a little bit. But we're here to reframe that a little bit for you. We love the word pelvis and we love pelvises.
We do.
Because they are powerful, and we
Yes.
want yours to be powerful again too, because the relief that it can bring you from so many symptoms is also very powerful and can change your life. We
And
want to
that's what
explain.
Yes, pelvic recovery is what we're talking about. So we needed to address the pelvic exam piece because many women, when they read pelvic recovery, immediately their brain subconsciously goes to that place and they think, I don't think that's the right
Something
thing
is
for
going
me.
to be inserted
Right.
in my body.
Or they're going to ask me in this program to insert something in my vagina, and that's not at all what is happening. So pelvic recovery, we named it a women's pelvic recovery program because we help a lot of women recover from many conditions that deal with the pelvis, including back injuries, back surgeries, hip surgeries, chronic pain in that area, birth injuries, knee pain,
all the host of bowel and bladder
for sure.
issues, from recurrent UTIs to leakage of gas or urine to frequency, to loss of control of even bowel and definitely bladder. Those are all issues that, and all the orthopedic type things.
So I was going to say, so if you've been told also maybe you are weak through your pelvic floor, weak through your core, or maybe you've heard you have weak glutes, so you have a lack in mobility and stability, which a lot of women, I don't know what that means. But if these things have been told to you, these are all things that we address both here in clinic and the studio, as well as in our women's pelvic recovery program. So we want to talk to you a little bit more about why, with all of those things, because you might be thinking, knee pain, what in the heck does that have to do with your pelvis?
Yep.
How addressing things at the pelvis, your center of gravity.
That's what I tell women all the time. I mean, we're a little bit nerds, so get on board with this just real quick. We won't get too far into it. The pelvis is the center of gravity. In physical therapy school, I remember learning, because I thought it was so interesting, that the center of gravity is somewhere between the pubic joint and the second segment of your tailbone. That is right here. That means this is your pivot point for everything you do, the bending, the lifting, the carrying, the gardening, the play, bending over to play with your kids, unload the groceries, cook. It's the center of gravity and pivot point for all those activities. So you can imagine how powerful it could be to restore the strength, the stability, and the mobility, which we address both of those issues in our program, how powerful that can be for symptom relief. And it trickles up and down. So yes, it's addressing hips, bowel and bladder stuff, low back stuff, but it's also addressing
knee and foot and neck and shoulder. So not specifically addressing that. So if you have a diagnosis specific to this, it will not specifically address that. However, when you get more stability and mobility through the center of your body, it's going to naturally promote more stability through the neck and shoulders, that mid-back, as well as the knees and the feet in particular.
And especially for women with the knees. I love to have this quick anatomy chat with all my ladies when I'm going, they're looking at me like I've kind of a little bit lost it, but I'm telling them that little tweaky thing in the side of their knee has much more to do with their hip, and it's because, this is going to be quick, y'all, way more dependent relationship between the hips and the knees for women than for men, and here's why.
The Q angle.
The Q angle. So the female pelvis is wider. We all know that it's supposed to be. But what that creates is an angle that the femur comes down to the knee and intersects at the knee joint at a greater, sharper angle than it does for men, because they have a narrower pelvis, which means that thigh bone intersects at the knee straight up and down. That means the relationship for women between hip and pelvic stability and mobility and the well-being of your knees is
very important.
Incredibly important.
And let's just talk about what happens during pregnancy. Oh, that angle gets wider.
Bigger, wider. You lose stability. And we want to help you to rein all that in again, up and in, tightening again, not over tightening again. We're so excited about all this. We think the pelvis is where it's at. It's not something
is where it's at.
Not something to be afraid of anymore.
And it's a busy area, so maybe you're not an A&P junkie the way that we are an anatomy and physiology junkie, and you're like, this is total, BS. These ladies, there's no way that you can impact all of these different things by simply addressing core strength, pelvic stability, pelvic floor strength, all of those things. Yes, it's a busy area. You have a lot of muscles that connect in there, and as Christina said, the mechanics, I'm the biomechanics junkie, so I'm always looking at movement patterns and strategizing how can make it easier for that person. And this is the fulcrum. This is that hinge. Maybe you think of it like a door hinge or a piano bench, right? Where you have that hinge, and if there's something going on mechanically at that hinge, you're not going to be able to open and close that piano bench all the way. It's the same thing in our bodies. So it is incredibly powerful, especially as we get older. We see a lot of women that are losing range of motion in their hips. They get limited with how far they can sit down, or whether or not they can get on the floor and play with grandkids or do their gardening.
Or comfortably get off the toilet at work.
Yes.
That was a complaint we received this week, in fact. So these are real stories of real women and of ourselves and our own recovery journeys, how we have felt our own bodies recover through this program, and how we have helped so many women to do the same. And we really, really want that for you too, and we know you can do it. We have put our heart, soul, and blood, sweat, and tears into designing and implementing this program and making it as good as it can be. And we want you to join us if you're having any of these issues that we've talked about. And you're right on time.
Message us. I was going to say, and if you're wondering if this is a good fit, message us. If you're wondering if this is a good fit, go to tightenyourtinkler.com. Take the quiz, particularly if you're having bowel and bladder symptoms or back and hip pain. That's going to give you a very good number about if this is a good fit or not. But if you've got a specific diagnosis and you're kind of on the fence going, is this for me? Isn't this for me? Message us, private message us, respond to our email, get on our newsletter list.
Jen and I are the only ones behind the scenes here. We are the program. We answer every email. We answer every request, every message ourselves. So you will hear from us if you send us a message. You'll get our professional input as to what we can or can't help you with, or wherever we're going to refer you. We want you to get what's right for you. So if you're not sure, like Jen said, take the quiz, which you can find a link on our website, tightenyourtinkler.com, or send us a private message or email.
Our mission is to help you feel better in your body and take back control of your body.
Yep, so, and you're right on time for the next launch of the program. We're opening the doors again January 16th through 21st, so just a week away. And we can't wait for you to join us, and send us questions in the meantime. We'll see you next week with another informative show.
And if this was helpful, please give us a like, please share it, or please comment below if you have questions about the show or anything that was discussed in today's show. Until next week, take care of your pelvic floor.